Hi everyone. Um, Good night or good morning or whatever. Very nice to see you tonight or to morning. Oh my god. It's like the earliest stream I made so far. However, no, like on the 21st of February, I think it was my earliest one because um, I woke up to the sounds of explosions, and first thing I did, I made just a short video for our citizens, asking them not to panic and stuff like that. Probably it's still somewhere on my channel in Ukrainian language. So yeah, um, I'm not sleeping, obviously, because we had basically three air alerts since midnight. Currently, it's 5:45 a.m. in Ukraine. First air alert sounded at 1 a.m. The other one was at 2 a.m. And Christina asks, how do you know about the air alerts? So first thing is you hear the sirens. You can hear them anywhere in Kyiv. Then for people who cannot hear sirens for some reason, there's it looks like I just interrupted the enforcers stream. So for those who cannot hear sirens, there's a bunch of phone applications. I'm using this Kyiv Digital that I told you in one of my streams. This application sends you an alarm, basically, and also we have notifications sent by the sorry, I don't know how to translate the name of the ministry. Basically it's a Ministry of Interior. So they send the notification for your phone. It starts beeping and screaming, and you know that the air alert started. And then after a while, we received the cancellation notification on our on the phone, basically, and you know that okay, it's safe to go out and do whatever you want to do. So yeah, I didn't sleep. I probably had like 3 hours of healthy sleep since the day before yesterday, because I have those keys for the bomb shelter, and every time this air alert sounds, I gotta run to the bomb shelter and make sure that people can get inside. Otherwise, I would give no damn about it, because I'm a too small target for a big missile. So I'm very happy to see you tonight. There's like, oh my god, what, 500 people don't sleep. Anyways, we have a bunch of news. Day number 231 of a 3-day Russian invasion in Ukraine started. And first thing that I want to show you is this video from Zaporizhia. It was published by our national police, and here we can see the result of missile strike in Zaporizhia. Basically, this is the school, this very important military object that was targeted by high precision Russian missile. And it was turned into a complete mess. Basically, our kids are now studying remotely, so luckily there were no casualties, as far as I know. There's another object. It was like hospital, like medical facility. And we can also see that cars received some damage from fragments. That was a tire service for car tires. Again, very, very important military object targeted by high precision Russian missile. This is a heating pipe that brings water to the residential area, and of course it's also very, very important military target that was hit by Russian high precision missile. We have also video from Nikopol. It's tonight. It was shelled by incendiary shells, so you can see them exploding in the air and bringing the igniting charge at buildings. Again, we can guess what kind of buildings are there, because since all Ukrainians are enemies to Russian people, then all the infrastructure that we have, everything that is within the border of Ukraine, is a military target for pedo-Russian invaders. Хороший пес. Хороший пес. He's sleeping, and my dog has a bad dream. Хороший песичок, хороший. Хороший пес, хороший. Anyways, what's next? We have some good news from our partners. Our Minister of Defense, Alexei Reznikov, today shared good news that our American colleagues brought 4 more HIMARS systems to Ukraine. And of course, big thanks to our American friends, American citizens, because we will be able to use those to defend Ukraine from Russian invaders. Yeah, people can hear my dog like yelping in his sleep, and sometimes he does that. Another good news. Yesterday, 32 Ukrainian POWs were exchanged. They returned home. And I don't think that I saw familiar faces, unfortunately. But I'm glad that they're home. And some funny news. You gotta love it, guys. So there was this I cannot find a proper word. So there was this Buratian soldier, okay? And what he did was basically he stole a CCTV camera from the surveillance camera from the street and brought it home to Buryatia. And little did he know that it's not enough to just plug it in and it's gonna work. No, you gotta set it up, probably uninstall the the firmware that was installed previously. That's why this Buratian man became a hero of a small show that is that you can find in Telegram, basically, and this guy is now very, very famous. Very famous because Ukrainians received a chance to see this, this reality show without even having to pay for it. So we are now following all his private life. He is like our, whenever we feel sad, we just watch him dancing or, changing clothes. There's he has a wife, of course, a daughter, I think. That must be his wife, and in this video she talks to her daughter. The apartment is not that bad, by the way. I would change curtains probably, and the sofa looks kinda old, but otherwise it's not bad. Does he know it? I don't think so. And guys, please, let's keep this a secret, okay? Let it be our little secret that we will not share. Yeah. With that, we're moving to Russian social media. So here we have a community from Krasnoturinsk. It's a small town in Russia, and so this message says, today our men flew to Ukraine and they sent us photo and video, and let us wish them great health and return without losses. So the comment below says, dear publisher, don't lie to people. Those men went to Rostov to receive the training course, and they don't like this publication. So it was the publication was made on the 2nd of October, and right after that we received another message that this person that allegedly went to Rostov to receive his training basically died in Ukraine, and it says, we are sorry to inform you that our Yevgeny Bizayev died during a combat mission. So from what I can see is that basically they are sending their untrained, unprepared, mobilized people directly to meet their demise. And in my opinion, Putin is trying to win time with numbers. He doesn't care to train those people. He doesn't care to, he doesn't care. We have some more news from Russia. It's Shebekina. My God. How do they make those names? Shebekina. Holy duck. So In Shebekina yesterday, something was burning. And from what I understand, Shebekina, by the way, is a small kind of village not far from Belgrade. Something was burning. And from what we know, it was a high voltage electricity line. There was some kind of, Jesus Christ. I need help. Anna from Ukraine knows English better than I do. Yeah, and something was burning there. They lost electricity because, karma works. And in case Ukrainians, feel this irritation because of all those shortages and stuff like that, karma works on Russians as well. Okay, my alarm, not air alarm, but my morning alarm notifies me that I gotta wake up. Okay, and from this, I would like to move on to a not so happy news. The other day, one of the viewers proposed me to call Russians their historical name, which is Moscovians, and basically I agree on that because there's nothing wrong in calling them the way they were called for centuries, Moscovians, Muscovites. Nothing wrong with that. However, I have a better idea that I'm gonna explain to you in just a second. So, last month in Geneva, a report was presented by Eric Mosset, and I think it was presented on September 23rd or 25th. They had a press conference on 25th of September. So Eric Mosset is a chief of the United Nations International Investigation Team that visited 27 towns and settlements in Ukraine, including burial sites, including mass graves, including torture centers. And this team basically interviewed more than 150 Ukrainian victims and witnesses. And according to this report, investigators have concluded that Russia committed war crimes in Ukraine. It's a official information now. Those crimes included bombing of civilian areas, numerous executions, torture, and horrific sexual violence. In particular, again, it's according to the report of the United Nations. In particular, the UN investigators confirmed that the Russian soldiers sexually abused Ukrainian infants, and a lot of those soldiers, by the way, were already identified by our services, by our security service of Ukraine. So, for example, this Russian soldier, his name is Bulat Fasahov, I think. Yes, 20 years old Bulat Fasahov, Russian soldier, from Tatarstan, 30th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, accused of gang raping a Ukrainian underage girl in March together with 3 other Russian soldiers. The crime took place in Bravary, not far from Kyiv. Here we can see this person. I think that we should see those people more. I mean, we should know their background, we should know all information about them, because they are trying to, why they don't do that in Russia? For a simple reason, because they will get sued or caught or, I don't know, prosecuted for that in Russia. But in Ukraine, they can do that easily in those regions that they occupy. And basically, they don't afraid of any consequences for doing that. So I think that we should show their faces more. We should make them popular. He wasn't captured, unfortunately, but it's a matter of time, because as we know, Russian state has no future, and at some point they all will be punished. Karma works. Okay, and we have another one. I forgot to add him to today's stream, but here he is. So this man is this young boy. His name is Alexei Bычkov. He was smart enough to make a video recording of what he did. And what he did was he recorded videos of raping and humiliating toddlers using different objects in the process. And then he sent his records to his buddies, his friends. And that second picture that you can see, the one on the right, is actually a screenshot from the video. So such cases in Russian army, which is famous for its atrocious nature across the freaking planet, is a common thing. It's not like it's something outstanding. I'm not even mentioning, Russian soldiers committing atrocities during the World War II. I mean, it's a common thing. You can ask all of their neighbors. You can ask people from Baltic countries. You can ask residents of those places where they were at least once. So this glorious soldier is one of them. And again, it's not a single case. There's numerous cases. And according to the Security Service of Ukraine, already thousands of war criminals accused of committing atrocities were identified. And in other words, we're talking about thousands of criminal cases. So, in my opinion, Muscovites are a proper name, right? But I would say that pedo-Russians is a well-deserved name, because, of course, there are people out there who would go like, everybody does that, like when we talk about, I don't know, executions, about cases of rape, about bombing, like civilian objects and stuff. There are always people that go, everybody does that. All sides, all parties does that. Guys, not everybody does that, what they do. And the toilet army, known as the Russian invaders, is leading in every freaking rating of committing documented atrocities. That's why I think that this is exactly how they should be remembered forever. In the books of history, in, I don't know, on the internet, in criminal cases, anywhere possible. So I think that Pedo Russians is a very proper name for them. By the way, they really how you call it? They really like this name. You can check. Okay, and to move on to something more positive. Here I have a video. So on a YouTube and in Twitter, I posted this link to the video that was made by the 93rd Mechanized Brigade near Bakhmut, where Wagner Group attempted to make an attack on Ukrainian positions, and they were all eliminated. So there is a link, but there's I'm not gonna show you the whole video, but I will show you just a small fragment that literally cracked me up. So this guy, it was all recorded on Ukrainian drone, and Ukrainian drone was used to coordinate our artillery strikes, our SPG strikes, and here you can see a Russian soldier trying to, I don't know, call Holy Spirit to save his soul. It didn't help him. I'm already telling you, it didn't help him. Maybe because he does it wrong, because I don't believe he's Catholic, but he crisscrosses himself like a Catholic. Probably he doesn't know how to do it properly. I never met Russian Catholics. I'm sure there are Russian Catholics, but something tells me that it's not the case. Anyways, it didn't help him because not much things can help Russians who come to Ukrainian land. They will all be devoured here by Ukrainian soil. I promise that. We have a big experience of such cases throughout the history. Again, I'm apologizing in advance because as soon as there's this another air alert, I will be running away. I will be running towards the bomb shelter. I suspect that probably around 7 a.m. we will hear something. But until then, I think that we can talk, we can answer some questions. By the way, as for this Russian patriarch Kirill, is he still with us? Because I've heard different versions of what happened. Where or how did you dress your mic in red? I bought it this way. It looked like this when I bought it. I didn't do anything to this microphone. But I think it looks glamorous. Why not? I gotta have at least something glamorous in my life. All right. Oh, we have Sam Williams here. Hello, hello. Is that his dead friend? They're all of his friends were. Let me rephrase that. All of those dads were his friends. again, Medvedev, like tonight, I noticed a bunch of strange news claiming that like Medvedev was uh, eliminated or assassinated. Then this Patriarch Kirill. I'm not sure what happened. Bring your father on a podcast. Thing is, my father has some health issues because of Chernobyl, because of numerous shell shocks and stuff like that. So I don't think that he will appreciate much this. But thank you for the idea, of course. Mike Russell, operator Starsky drinking beers with us in 2023, celebrating orcs decimation. I would prefer like 2022, but 2023 sounds good as well. Why is it so big? That's what she said. Jay Riley. I'll pretend I don't know American jokes. Okay. My God. I hope you have some kind of beverage for those who only started their day. Good morning. It's 6:16 a.m. in Kyiv. Nancy, tell your dad we wish him well. Thank you so much. I will. Which is better, quicker to donate towards drones, United 24 or Serhiy Pritula? Sometimes they work for the same cause, so it doesn't really matter. What are the cannabis laws in Ukraine? The last thing I heard about it, like, I'm not an expert. I don't do that. But the last thing I heard about it was that President Zelensky wanted to legalize cannabis for patients with specific needs, like for people who receive treatment and stuff like that, for medical purpose. I would probably support total like complete legalization, because this removes such thing as corruption and this illegal drug business completely. And there are downsides to that, of course. But I think that in order to remove all those downsides, we should educate people. That's very important. How are the teachers and kids doing in Hostomel? Haven't been to Hostomel actually for quite a while, but from what I know, they are studying remotely. By the way, currently all kids in Ukraine are studying remotely because of missile strikes, and I think it's a wise idea. Finn McCrae, what are your plans after the war? My plans after the war is to make sure that all the war criminals who committed atrocities in Ukraine meet their doom. Has your government told Belarus anything? I guess so. So yesterday, President Zelensky asked the UN because what Belarusian, this potato head mustached cockroach says is, he says that Ukraine is preparing its attack. And this makes us very, very concerned, so to say, because when they say that crap, it means that they will invade or prepare everything for Russians to invade and stuff like that. So what President Zelensky did, he asked the United Nations to bring the international observers and station them on the border of Ukraine and Belarus. I think it's a wise idea. I'm not sure if it's gonna take a lot of time, but I really, really hope that the United Nations will do something useful regarding this. Tractor Poodle, hello from Mexico. How's Fuch? Fuch is fine. I was talking, so he woke up and went away. He said, "You don't let me sleep," and he walked out. Okay, we have a question. Still think Belarusians will attack? I am, let's say, not like I'm 100% convinced, but like 99% convinced. Because it's not because I have details regarding the, regarding the no, I have that info actually. So they have like 6 battalion tactical groups that are stationed on the border, not far from the border with Ukraine. And those are supported by tanks and vehicles. But we also have information that a lot of Russian vehicles and tanks were delivered to Belarus and unloaded. It was done probably like a week ago, a week before they officially stated that they're going to form this joint task force with Russians. And like, what else can we expect? Like, Russians will arrive to Belarus in big numbers with tanks and vehicles. The last time they did that, they invaded Ukraine. Will the Belarusians rise up against the war? They will not, because all those Belarusians that were able to do that, they are currently fighting in Ukraine in Belarusian Voluntary Battalion. Tara Jones, any news about Lysychansk? No news from my friend since August 22. What I can say? I can say that our troops are getting closer to Lysychansk. They will obviously take it, but the bad news is that Lysychansk almost doesn't exist. When our guys were moving out of Lysychansk, it was bombed very, very hard by Russian artillery and Russian aviation, so I cannot tell you a lot about it. The Truth Teller, hello. Operator Starsky, have you heard about some S-300 systems destroyed by Ukrainian forces in Tokmak? I've heard about them, but I believe that rather it wasn't like Ukrainian forces. Probably it was like due to smoking next to bags of saltpeter. That's what they usually do. They have that cotton. Here in okay, I gotta show you this. Wait a second. How do I do that? Okay. Oh my god. Here it is. So in Ukraine, we have this mythical creature called bavovnyatko, which I can translate as, let me see, little cotton something. So this mythical creature usually comes to Russians. Here it is. Wait, no. Oh yeah, here it is. This beautiful little creature usually comes to Russians and sets them on fire. And we call bavovnyatko cotton. Cotton kid, cotton creature, cotton something. Anyways, cotton cutie. Okay, let's call it cotton cutie. So this is our totem creature now. Used to bring justice and peace to Ukrainian land. It's bavovnyatko, cotton cutie. Let me drop you. Wait a minute. Oh my god, I can type in this chat. It's like... Can I do? Oh yeah, I can. Nice. So yeah, that's bavovnyatko, aka the cotton cutie. Cotton Pokemon from hell. Exactly. Is this what you used to create the black magic? Yeah. It is. It is our... Like, you know, the Santa has his like little helpers, those elves, or probably elves. And this is the little helper of Ukrainian soldier. It's like My Little Pony. The only difference is that this one kills. Baby cotton. Yeah, baby cotton. Cotton cutie. I think it's this name fits this creature the best. What air defense doing? Air defense is killing Russians. Tell us more about Ukrainian black magic. So, Ukrainian black magic. Let me see. Basically everything Ukrainian people do is a black magic, because whatever Russians try to do to Ukrainian people, for some reason nothing works. They were trying to, terrorize Ukrainians with missiles. It didn't work because yesterday, during just one day, while being shelled by those missiles, while being hit by Russian missiles, Ukrainians went so furious, so they donated $1.5 million to our charity for buying kamikaze drones for the Ukrainian army. Does anyone here play Pokemon Go? I never played Pokemon Go because I'm afraid. I'm afraid that it's like, it's a one-way ticket for me. Thoughts on UA shooting down a cruise missile with a manpad for the first time ever? I don't know if it was like for the first time ever, because we're doing quite a lot of that. We use manpads to shoot down Russian cruise missiles since February. One thing I can tell you is that I'm happy that it works. That's for sure. We need Cotton Cutie t-shirts. Yeah, I support that. We gotta make Cotton Cutie famous. This creature deserves that. No Pokemon if you're over age 12. Yeah, I agree. Did you see the video with the Ukrainians shooting down a cruise missile with a manpad? It was awesome. Yeah. We have quite a few men who did that. This one became viral because we have like a video of this guy, but actually it's not for the first time. Usually, of course, we use our aviation, our interceptors, and our anti-air systems. Anti-air systems are not as efficient as interceptors. I mean, like older anti-air systems, but the manpads are used as well for already quite a while. Actually, I'm impressed that you never heard about it. Can you show the video of the UA soldiers shooting down the cruise missile with the manpad? If you're talking about that recent video, okay, let me find this video for you. I will just, wait a second. Oh my god, I can see my own stream on a YouTube. Okay. So what he did, I'm not sure if you heard the the sound, you probably didn't. Oh, what he did was that, what do they say in the end? They say, "All right, bitch." Uh, what they did was they let the missile pass above them, and then they shot the manpad. They shot it from. How do I explain this? Oh my god! They let the missile pass and then they shot it because it's kind of proper thing to do. And oh my god, I don't like that sound of cruise missiles flying above us. Uh, I don't really like artillery in general. In case like, unless it's our artillery. I remember in 2018. No, it was in 2017. We were with my buddy in the area of Svetlodarsk Bulge. So we had a position. Then, like 600-700 meters away, there was like Russian hybrid position, hybrid Russian position, and it was late night. They started shelling us, and we were sitting there, smoking in the trench, and I was like, I don't really like artillery, and my buddy, and he was a really tough dude. He is. I don't know where he is, unfortunately, but he was like, I don't give a damn about artillery. I don't like landmines. And I thought that, yeah, it's like a different experience because Russians were shelling us with 120 millimeter shells, and they were like falling closer and closer and closer, and psychologically it's kind of sketchy, so to say. Yeah, to chase the heat signature. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will use this opportunity to learn proper English. So what they basically do is they let this missile pass above them, and then they shoot the anti-air missile to chase the heat signature. Thumbs up. That's why planes drop flares to confuse the targeting. Yes, actually, yeah. And that's why planes drop chaff to confuse the radar targeting, but that's a different story. If the government of Russia decides the cost of this war is too much, is there much hope for the healing of the Ukrainian and Russian cultures? Let me put it this way. After Bucha, I don't think it's possible. So it looks like the bridge was hit from below now. Probably, yeah. I will tell you one thing. To me, it doesn't look that it was hit from above. To me, it looks like it was hit either from a side, probably from below, yeah. One of my theories was this remote guided boat that could be used, or some other kind of vessel that was anchored below the bridge. But what I don't believe is that the truck that arrived from Russian territory with a driver who had Ukrainian ID. People in Crimea don't have Ukrainian IDs. This one had, even despite the fact that it was completely photoshopped from a picture downloaded from Ukrainian Wikipedia. Something doesn't combine here, in my opinion. Will Ukrainians abandon Russian language forever? Probably yeah. I will be honest. Because people started to understand that, let's put it this way, it's absolutely your choice which language to speak, right? We are free to speak any language. Chinese, I don't know, Farsi, anything you want, you can speak in Ukraine, any language. But can you really call this a free choice if this language was forcefully brought to your land and your parents that spoke Ukrainian language all their lives and their parents spoke Ukrainian language all their lives, they suddenly were forced to use Russian language in order to at least become like successful in terms of career, in terms of official documentation. Would you call this your own free choice to speak a language that was forcefully brought to your country? Probably yeah, but to me it's kind of controversial. I learned Ukrainian from metal, folk, and pop music. No way. That's a good achievement. Russian dolphins are revolting. Probably I agree on that. Because, again, Russian dolphins. If I was a Russian dolphin, I would revolt. Because Russian dolphins are intelligent creatures, unlike Russian soldiers. Думаєте, незабаром буде наступ на Запоріжжя? Думаю, буде. Якщо вони зможуть використати свої наявні резерви. В чому я не впевнений. Вони зможуть завести свої резерви хіба що через місяць що найскоріше. Або вони завезуть просто дуже-дуже багато непідготовленого м'яса, яке помре. Can you say паляниця for us? Паляниця. By the way, I taught an Australian volunteer to say паляниця. And he does that perfectly. He does that like a native Ukrainian. What brand cigarettes do you smoke? I smoke those ones. Those are hits. I tried vape. It's not bad, but it's kind of too expensive. Will you get nukes after you have taken back all your territory? Because that way Russians will never attack again. That's a good point. If I was a representative of Ukrainian government, I would answer that. But I have no idea, unfortunately. It would be smart okay, it would be smart. Because how do you think, and answer this question honestly to yourself, how do you think, would Russia attack Europe if NATO had no nukes? If Russia would Russia ever attack European countries if NATO had no nukes? Would Russia attack and annex Alaska if the US had no nukes? I think you know the answer. So today in the shelter, we are blessed with the internet in the shelter. It's not Starlink, it's some other Wi-Fi. I can see like my dog's fur flying in the air. So I was there, and even despite the fact that I don't really watch Joe Rogan anymore, but I saw this lady. What was her name? Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard. So it's a fresh video with Joe Rogan on Ukraine and the military industrial complexes. In this video, she talks about, like, if this help provided by the US to Ukraine, if this help benefits the US. And I think that this question was asked wrong, because she doesn't need to ask Joe Rogan about that. She needs to ask Russians about that. I mean, she should ask Russians who dream, pedo Russians who dream of nuking and destroying the US, including herself, including Joe Rogan and everybody. She gotta ask them instead of, I don't know, discussing whether they should help a country that was guaranteed safety in 1994. But I took your advice, guys, and I'm not watching Joe Rogan anymore, I swear. Because, like, it's basically the same as watching Russian channels in Telegram. It's bad for your health and psychological stability. There aren't many toilets in Alaska. Reasons to invade are minimal for Russia. Could be. On the other hand, they have this taiga, those vast territories that will never be used. Never, ever. Can we get Starsky on the Joe Rogan show, people? No way. Not after what I saw. English will be an official language in Ukraine for all public servants. When this happens depends on the parliament. I don't think it's a bad idea. Probably it's like rather depends on people. If majority of Ukrainian people learns English language at some point, and they decide that, hooray, we can. I don't know if there's such a case in any European country, because we are trying to become a member of the European Union. I'm not sure if there is such a case among European countries. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But still, knowing foreign languages is awesome. I can tell you that. Greetings from a Pole in Canada. Witam bracie. I liked Tulsi, but she has been beaten the drum of. Honestly, I even don't know who she is. And even more honestly, I really don't want to know. How good is morale in the Ukrainian army? They are taking back territory daily. It's not bad. It's not bad. I talked to my guys like yesterday, and everybody feels fine. Of course, they feel a bit furious because of those missile strikes, but other than that, they're doing great. What famous person would you like to interview? Question from Steve. Let me see. I know the answer, Steve. I don't want to interview famous people. I would definitely like to interview a lot of volunteers, for example, a lot of international volunteers who came to Ukraine. I would like to interview my brothers, Ukrainian soldiers, and I want to make them famous because they deserve that. And I think that that's a proper thing to do. Will the missile strikes make Russian new POWs be zero for next couple of weeks? Don't tell nobody. Kardashians? No way. However, would you do a guest appearance on the Tasks and Purpose channel with Cappy? Question from Alexander. I would love to. Actually, I think this might happen. Probably sooner than you think. Have you met Yuri Butusov? Yes, Yuri Yevgenyich is actually my good friend. You have the best channel covering this conflict. Thank you so much, but I don't think so, because there are guys out there who have much more interesting content than I have. It's just everybody does what they can do best, and what I can do best is basically, I don't know, bring you some interesting facts and try to explain and educate if it's possible. What I really do is I'm learning from you guys, especially in terms of English language. Do you still participate in combat, or have you been delegated to focus on non-combat duty due to your media presence? Partially, because in case a bunch of pedo Russians decide to land in Hostomel or attack Kyiv, or I don't know, move towards Kyiv from Belarus, I will probably be there. So in this regard, it's like my non-combat duty will be cancelled. Probably I will receive an order to move to Donbass and change max. That can also happen. So yeah, it all depends on my chain of command. Is your wood drinking cup actually made of real wood? Yes, it is. So this is. Wait a second. I don't. Yeah, this is my wooden cup. It's made out of wood. It's like real wood, and Ukrainian company makes those cups. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the company because my friend from another unit bought such a cup and made a bunch of its photos. He's a very famous photographer among National Guard press officers. And because those pictures were so cool, this company sent him like a bunch of those cups, and he gave me one. So this is how I got it. What is the wood sealed with? Is it safe? No idea. I don't know. But I'm using this cup for like 6 months already, and I'm still alive. I don't sleep much, but I'm more or less healthy. Do you like vareniki? Everybody likes vareniki, especially vareniki with cherries. They are nice. Vareniki with cherries. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Vareniki with cherries and sour cream. They're fantastic. There are two kinds of vareniki in Ukraine. There are vareniki with they are kind of dry. They actually remind me of. Wait a minute. So there are like. Wait a minute. Is that the wrong word? Patty. Patty or burger? No, it's not a burger. It's like sweet patty. Anyways, those vareniki, they are like sweet. They can be dry, or they can be wet. It depends on the kind of a dough. So I prefer both with sour cream. It's amazing. Do Russians prefer toilets with bidets or without? It took them probably 7 months to realize why they needed toilets. maybe even longer than that, I think we should not tell them about bidets. I think they will be shocked. So I have a theory. Russians steal things in Ukraine because in Russia they don't have those things. So for example, they steal toilets because they have no toilets. They steal those condition units because they don't have them or they cannot buy them in Russia. And actually, I think this is the reason why they are known for, sometimes like castrating people. Probably because they have no balls. Polish pierogi, by the way. So in Poland it's called pierogi. In Ukraine it's called vareniki. I don't know why the difference is so big between those words, but that's pretty much the same. However, in Poland, those pierogi, they're usually bigger, from what I remember. Size matters. That's true. Washing machines, yeah, washing machines as well. Washing machines, computers, GPUs, anything you can imagine. But they don't have plumbing either. Yeah, it's true. I remember that there was a woman in Hostomel. She told us that once she saw a Buryat soldier that was carrying a like a tap from the bathroom, and she asked, probably like he stole it somewhere or took it somewhere, I don't know. She asked him like, why do you need that tap? And he said, I'm gonna install it in my bathroom and I will have water. She's like, do you know how plumbing works? And that was a tap for, hot and cold water. He was like, what? So yeah, they have problems with that as well, but we'll keep that a secret. There was a video that Belarusians dug a hole next to the bathroom to take a dump. There was this like bathtub in Hostomel. I think it might be on video somewhere. And they were taking a shed into that bathtub. Again, we talked to Hostomel cops. They told us that a dig on a wall and a pile of shit is usually a business card of a Russian soldier. And I can only agree with that. Because it's true. Because I saw it with my own eyes in our barracks. And you can find that video on my channel as well. It's still there. Are the missile attacks getting worse day by day, or have they been pretty consistent compared to a couple of weeks ago? So all this time, and I'm talking about Kyiv region only, because it's different in different regions. For example, they more often they hit cities like Mykolaiv, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv. But they still used to launch missiles on western cities of Ukraine as well, and Kyiv, of course. Majority of those missiles are being intercepted, but During this time, they didn't use so many missiles at once. So, for example, the day before yesterday, they used more than 80 missiles plus a bunch of Iranian kamikaze drones. Yesterday, it was something like 30, probably 30 missiles, maybe more. Again, plus kamikaze drones. And yesterday in the morning, like, it was long. It took quite a while. It was the missile alert lasted for 5 hours because they would shoot a bunch of missiles and see if those missiles are intercepted. Then they would shoot other wave of missiles, and they were doing that for 5 hours straight. It was ridiculous. What's better for Russians, cargo 200 or cargo 300? It depends. It depends. I would go with, like, we have this joke. Peter Russians are only good if you cannot see them with thermal imaging devices. Why is there a museum of jellyfish in the middle of Kyiv? That's a business, not like a business. That's a trade center. Previously, there was a huge fountain. There's this square called Maidan Nezalezhnosti, the aka the Independence Square. And instead of describing it, I can... Oh, that's me. Instead of describing it, I will just show you how it looked like. Maidan Nezalezhnosti. So, this is something that looks like a jellyfish, but no, that's a wrong assumption. That stuff, that dome, actually there's like a trade center below that. All the way from this place, from the bottom of this picture, and all the way from to the top of this picture, where you can see that big stela that across the road. That all is an underground passage. And I will show you how it looks. Oh my god, how is it called? It's Майдан Незалежності Глобус. Aha, there it is. So that's Globus. There are different things can be found under the surface. There are different stores. There are music stores. I bought some of my guitars there even like years ago. There's McDonald's, by the way, sushi places, something like that. Mall, basically mall, yeah. In Ukraine, we don't say mall, we say trading center for some reason. And it's not bad. But what I wanted to show you was a different thing. So, Майдан Незалежності. Aha. those are the fountains on Maidan Nezalezhnosti. They are very, very beautiful. Usually they are active in summer, and when it's very, very hot, you can literally sit down there and feel like, relieved. It looks very nice. It feels very nice. That that cold vapor of water, those droplets. When you feel hot, it will help you. And previously, I remember I was a small boy. It looked a bit different. So there was another fountain, and it looked like this. This fountain, it was. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the right? Yeah, that's the right one. So that fountain was on the place where nowadays you can see that glass dome, and it's been lowered underground. So it was relocated from the surface underground to that mall, and it's still there. Mist, that's the word. Yeah. Guitars. I'm teaching myself bass and making some forms of music. That's the right thing to do, buddy. You go for it. I don't really play guitar. I tried to learn guitar, but if you want to be professional with something, you gotta do only that. That's why I suck at playing guitar. But it still gave me some kind of knowledge that I can use in writing music. Let me show you how this mall, this fountain looks nowadays, because it's amazing. Fontan Globus. It's very, very nice. I don't think I will find a proper picture. I just remember that you cannot really make pictures in Globus for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea. But this is the way I remember Maidan Nezalezhnosti, and to me it always looks like this in summer. It's very beautiful. You can buy yourself a drink and a hot dog and relax with your friends and just walk around and enjoy. There's all kinds of musicians, artists, people, breakdancing, you name it. It's a great place. Like in peaceful times. We have a duo with Starsky and David Gilmour after this war. Oh my god. That will be a big honor to me. I don't deserve that. I'm telling you. I'm getting a Ukrainian. Wait a minute. Where was that? I'm getting a Ukrainian war bride after the war. Why not? Why not? It can be popular. I need toast with cheese, ham, and sunny side up eggs. Felicia, I agree on that. I would just go with like a toast because I didn't have anything since yesterday. Do you have any systems other than air raid sirens to warn the civilians to take shelters because of an attack? Do you think there could be use for some improvement there? Guys, there is, I will show you this. There is an application called Kyiv Digital, and wait a minute. Yeah, and it looks like this. I hope you can see that. Those red and green dots mark the time of the most recent air alarms. So every time we receive this air alarm, as besides sirens, you can hear your phone screaming, and then you basically go and search for a shelter that can also be found in this application. So for example, here, the last air alarm we had, it was 5:21, exactly at the time when I wanted to, start this stream. It lasted for 3 minutes, but anyways. So when you click on this, it will open you the description of this alarm, and in the end of this page, you can literally click on your map and find a proper shelter for yourself. So no matter where you are in Kyiv, if there's an air alert, you will always find your shelter because everything is in one place. And that's a very, very nice application because we only hear sirens when there is some threat, when we have when we receive information that, for example, some airplanes, some bombers took off from some specific airport, airfield in Russia, for example, in Kaspi, for example, and they're heading towards Ukraine or towards their launch position. Anyways, or there are missiles that physically were launched and they're heading towards some specific region of Ukraine. We have this AI managed air defense system that tells you which regions are being targeted specifically, and this information was made public by, I think, our Minister of Interior. And then those sirens start sounding, and you hear the physically you hear those sirens in Kyiv, for example. But they only signalize the beginning of the attack, the possible attack. And when it's finished, when it's safe to leave your shelter, you don't hear anything. There are no sirens, there's nothing. So this application is very useful because if you don't want to spend your whole day in a shelter without knowing that it's safe, you can download your application and yeah, it will tell you. It is similar to the one people have in Israel. I'm sure you gotta have something like that because it's logic. Favorite Ukraine food is McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese, a large fry, and a Coke. Yeah. My favorite stuff is like cheeseburgers, middle-sized French fries, and Coca-Cola without ice. Because without ice, if you order Coca-Cola without ice, they can add more Coca-Cola. I'm eating olives and cheese right now. You have no heart. Bon appetit. Hello, operator Starsky. Glad that you survived the missile attacks. Joe. Dear Joe, I don't have other option. I must survive the missile attacks. It's hard to target me with a missile because missile is big and I'm a very small person. I have never had borscht. Want to try it. So the correct name for this stuff is borscht without T. I don't know why T is added to this word in English, but in Ukrainian it's just borscht without T. It tastes fantastic, but it depends on who prepared this borscht, and it's very nice with sour cream. It's very nice when it's just prepared. It's hot. You just add some cold sour cream, and it becomes like warm, not too hot and not too cold. And you can also consume borscht when it's completely cold. When you just take it out from a fridge, it still tastes very nice, especially with meat. I don't like borscht with beans for some reason, but I love it with meat, with garlic and or like onions and black bread. Expectations for today's NATO meeting. I have only one expectation, that Putler dies. That's my biggest expectation. And the way we reach this goal doesn't matter whatsoever. In Russia, only brown ice. And yellow snow sometimes. Oh my god, in Poland it's called borscht ukraiński, Ukrainian borscht. I didn't know that. That sounds great. I've heard that borscht was recognized as Ukrainian legacy by UNESCO. You're making me hungry now. You have no idea how much how you're making me hungry now. Oh my god. You have no idea how hungry I am now. Boiled beets with real good butter. Stuffed peppers. Yeah, there are two similar dishes. One of them is stuffed peppers. The other one is cabbage rolls. They are amazing. Oh, here it is. Starsky, do you like stuffed cabbage rolls? I don't know what they call them in Ukrainian. In Ukrainian, it's called holubtsi. I will drop you the name in the chat. It's a holubtsi. What's the scariest moment or situation you've experienced during the orc invasion? It's probably when you're losing contact with people who are important to you, like your relatives or your parents. I had that situation, and I didn't like it. I don't like losing contact with my special ones. Do you like Mexican food? Okay, in Ukraine we had this franchise that was called Potato House. It was quite a while ago, years ago, but I had a discount card. And you could buy a lot of stuff there, like chili con carne, burritos, tacos. Were they tacos? I don't remember, never tried them, but I was a big fan of burritos. And there was this specific sauce that was rather a juice than sauce, called Grandma Conchita. And it was like a tomato juice with huge amount of spices and red pepper and black pepper and everything. And it tasted amazing. It was like a rocket fuel. You could literally burn your pants on your rear easily. But I've been told that actually Mexican food is not that spicy in real life. So probably I gotta visit Mexico myself and check out if it's true. If you had burritos, you already know what tacos taste like. I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. I tried ribs, like barbecue ribs, like beef ribs, with honey sauce. So it was both sweet and hot. It was awesome. Thai food. I love Thai food, especially Thai rice, Thai noodles. I have rice pasta, rice noodles right here with me. Texas ribs, probably. Those were Mexican, I think. Mexican food can be as spicy as the cook wants it to be. Definitely. In Toronto, you can buy all this Ukrainian and Polish food at large stores called Starsky? Seriously? Oh, Peter Dubinian says, if it doesn't have a soft corn tortilla, then it isn't a real taco. In 2016, we were training together with NATO guys in Yavoriv, and we were given American MREs, And I remember that I received a pack with tortillas with Tabasco. My guys didn't like Tabasco for some reason. I don't know. I tried, wasn't bad. But the next day, I was so sorry about that. I regret everything. Is this a Ukrainian cooking channel? I'm getting hungry. Yeah, so it's a traditional thing. Like when Ukrainians talk, they usually talk about like war and food. Um, when this is all over, come to Sebastopol, California, spelled with a B, as that person won the first fight over the spelling. Sebastopol, California. I know there's a lot of places like towns or cities in the US that sound exactly like in Ukraine. For example, there's Odessa, and from what I know, there's even like a couple of them. Sebastopol, never, I didn't know about it. Are there any Iranians in Ukraine? Why did you start learning Farsi? Um, there was one person that there was one person. Ever tried Chinese chicken feet? I didn't. I didn't, but we have Chinese cuisine in Kyiv as well. Different kinds of fish, different kinds of meat. Um, we have Chinese food in like paper boxes and stuff like that. Have you ever eaten snake? Never in my life. But I ate frog legs. In Kyiv, we have, again, it's like a franchise. It's called Chernomorka, like a bunch of restaurants where you can order different kinds of seafood, including frog legs, and they taste amazing, specifically with garlic sauce. I ate the snake. I would. Why not? Making chicken pizza right now. Yesterday I tried to order pizza. And I didn't even care what kind of. I would order any pizza. However, in Ukraine we have Domino's pizza. I'm sure that you have Domino's pizza in your country as well. But what makes Ukrainian Domino's pizza special is that we have a pizza with 5 cheeses. Not four, 5 cheeses. Different cheeses. And it's fantastic. So I usually buy that one. Or we have like Hawaiian pizza with chicken and pineapple and margarita. So those are my favorite ones. Yesterday, unfortunately, I wasn't able to order one uh, because you know. Wait a minute. Ah, there it is. Gołąbki is Polish stuffed cabbage. Gołąbki basically like golubci. They even... Oh, fuck. Okay, guys, we have another air alarm. I'll be going to the shelter. Gotta make sure that people can reach safety. Thank you so much for staying with me, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.